Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. So today I have a short video for you to introduce one of the models from the power exchange range by Einhell, the CEC 18-Li compressor. You're about to see a pretty compact compressor, but I won't say more. I'll let you discover it in the next segment. See you in a bit. So here's the compressor in question, the Einhell CCEC 18-Li. As you can see, it's a pretty compact device, and it's compatible with all power exchange batteries from Einhell. That means if you already own batteries from the same range, you can reuse them with this machine. As for the pressure of this little compressor, you should know it can go up to 11 bars, so that's more than enough to inflate any type of tire, including bike tires and especially car tires. A quick hands-on. As you saw, we're dealing with a relatively compact device that's pretty easy to carry around since it only weighs 766 grams. So that's the weight of the compressor without the battery. So you'll need to add the weight of the battery on top of that. Here, I've put in a 2 amp hour battery. That's more than enough to inflate quite a few tires, which also helps keep the total weight of this little compressor down. As for the main device, there are also 2 small buttons that let you start the compressor either in manual mode or automatic mode, which will allow you to reach the desired pressure that you've set on the screen. To set the pressure, there's a small indicator here that shows the current pressure of the compressor, or rather the tire you're inflating, and the pressure you want to reach. There's a small button just above that lets you change the unit of measurement. You can switch from bar to PSI, for example. And here, there are just 2 small buttons that let you set the desired pressure. For example, if you hold the button down, it goes much faster. You can set, for instance, 2.5 bars for a bicycle tire. And in this case, all I have to do is, of course, connect the compressor to a bicycle tire and press the automatic button I showed you earlier. So the compressor will work on its own until it reaches 2.5 bars. And then it turns off, or rather it stops by itself like that. It's a real time saver and energy saver. You don't need to watch over it or stay next to the device while it inflates the tire by itself. And as for the accessories that come with this little compressor, they all have their own storage spot, which means you can carry them with the compressor and, most importantly, avoid losing them. So here on the side we have the small adapter for the small valves. And on the other side, you'll find the small nozzle for the air blower function, along with the little needle for inflating balls. And just so you know, the hose that comes with, or rather is built into this compressor, is 60 centimeters long, which gives you a bit more mobility while inflating. Right before we get to the demonstration, let's talk a bit about the technical specifications. So earlier, I mentioned the maximum pressure of 11 bars, which is more than enough. And as for the inflation speed, it's 12 liters per minute, which is also more than enough, and lets you inflate car or bike tires pretty quickly. Now let's see this compressor in action. So the first thing to do, of course, is to set the pressure you want to reach. You just need to use the 2 little buttons underneath. Here, I'm going to start by setting it to 2.7 bars, knowing that my tire's current pressure is 2.35. And to start it, it's really simple. You just pull the trigger. Here we have a manual mode, and here an auto mode. So I'm going to choose the auto mode by simply pressing here. There you go, and once the pressure is reached, it stops by itself. That's a classic feature. So as you can see, it's very simple, very fast, and very efficient. As you saw, we're dealing with a very compact model that's easy to carry around, and it also comes with all the necessary accessories to inflate your bike tires, car tires, and even your balls, by the way. And it's pretty efficient, since it can handle a pressure of 11 bars, which is more than enough to inflate any type of tire. And finally, as for the price, you should know that this little compressor sells for around 55 euros. So that's the price of the compressor without the battery. So of course, you'll need to invest in additional batteries to use it, unless of course you already have some. So it's a relatively reasonable price. And if we compare it to other compressors on the market, It's actually a very well-positioned device with a really good value for money. So as usual, if you're interested in this device, I'll put the references for the best sellers in the description, at least those offering this compressor at the best price. That's it. This video is now coming to an end. I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And in any case, I'll see you very soon for a new video. Bye.